have sold over $300,000 with my Etsy print-on-demand business, and I made a ton of mistakes, but I've also found a lot of success. And I want to be sharing with you guys today the 7 things that has helped me get here, as well as if I was to start a new shop, what I will do, which I did start a new shop last year. And if you want to hear more about that shop, then stay to the end, because that's when I will give you the details about it. So let's just get right into it. The number one thing is treating it as a business from the beginning. Again, if you just want this to be a hobby, if you want this to be a side gig, by all means, keep doing what you're doing. But again, when you treat something as a business from the beginning, you see it different. You're thinking long terms, like not just like, how do I get a quick buck right now? You're thinking 5+ years from now. So you're putting the time, you put in the effort, you put in the consistency, you're showing up every day and you're doing the work. If you're saying you're going to be listing every day, you're doing that. If you're saying you're going to be doing the research, you're doing that. You're doing the things that you say that you're going to do, because again, you're looking at this from a long-term perspective. You're looking at this as this is going to change your life. You're going to be able to quit your job that you hate so much and be able to do this and live life on your own terms. The second thing is research. Again, if you're not new here, if you're a subscriber, welcome back, and you know what I'm going to be talking about, because I truly believe that the money is in the research. The moment that I switched my thinking and I started focusing so much on research is when I saw a huge difference in my shop. Again, if you're new here, what the heck do I mean by research? And research is just literally training your eyes, training your brain to figure out what people like. Literally, you can do this everywhere. You can do this on Etsy, you can do this on Pinterest, Instagram, Walmart, Target, anywhere. It's literally you just keeping your eyes open and you just see things. You can even sign up for like the online retailers newsletters where they're telling you, here's the summer drop, here's the fall drop. Those are all things that people want. You're literally looking everywhere for what people want, what's in demand. Again, and this inspiration happens everywhere. Because again, yeah, of course you're selling on Etsy, but I always like to think outside of the box, because people are shopping everywhere. And if something sells here, it's more likely that it's going to sell elsewhere. And again, you're looking at the patterns, you're looking at the designs, you're looking at the fonts. And for example, if you're on Pinterest and you're looking at nails, which I do because nails are trendy, you know, people are going to pick patterns, colors that are trending. So if you're seeing daisies on somebody's nails and then you go on Etsy and you're seeing daisies, these are all patterns that you're picking up on things that people want. So again, truly spend the time to research, whether that's 20, 30, whatever time that you can get every single day. The more that you do this, the better, because you literally are training your eyes and your brain to do this. And this is like not like a step 1, do this, step 2. No, this is a very messy thing. This is rabbit holes are your best friend. You literally are going, let's say if you go on Etsy, you type in, I don't know, women's shirt, you're letting everything lead you. You click on this, click on that, and you're just looking. You literally are looking at everything and you're soaking everything that you see. Because again, once you decide what niche you're going to be working in, you'll start seeing all these patterns and all this thing that you already saw on your research. So when it comes to designing, it makes designing so much faster and easier. You know exactly what to do. And then you're bringing designs that are unique because you found inspiration from so many different places. So again, please spend more time researching than you do designing, and you'll thank me later. The third thing is targeting specific niches. And I would say no more than 2-3 niches at a time. Again, when you're new, your designs are not going to be that great. So if you're all over the place, you're not even going to know what's working, because you're going to design, let's say 2 designs here for teachers, and then you're going to move on to the nurses and do 2 other designs, and then you're going to move on here, and then you're going to be like, well, nothing is selling. Well, yeah, of course, because at the beginning, you don't know what works. And if you're only designing 1 to 2 things in one niche and then moving on, you don't have enough traction. You don't have enough data to see what works. So I truly believe that you should spend your time in like one niche at a time and truly study that niche. Truly figure out what those customers like, what they don't like, what fonts do well, what mock-ups do well, what designs do well. And then you start adding more and more designs. You will be able to gather better data doing this than if you're jumping all over the place and then you're like, well, nothing works. No, of course it didn't work because you only have 2 designs that were terrible. Again, designing is one of those skills that you get better the more you do it. So if you stick to one niche at a time, every design will get better. As you learn the customer more, things just get better, and then you'll be able to gather data so much easier and faster. The fourth thing is adding personalized items. Again, personalized items have changed my Etsy shop. Again, if you don't believe me, go and search for personalized items on Etsy. There's so many shops that are killing it. I mean, the number one Etsy shop sells personalized jewelry. Again, people come on Etsy because they want to find something unique. They want to find something that they wouldn't find nowhere else. And what better way to offer something unique that's emotionally connecting, that stands out, that's something that's personalized. Again, this is the perfect way to stand out in the market. Even like if you're coming into a new niche, this is a great way to stand out amongst your competitors, especially if like that niche has like no type of personalization. Just adding a name or a date will literally help you stand out so much more than just keeping the design as is. Again, it's this whole thing of like, what would you rather buy somebody? Something that has like a name on it, or something that just has like, let's say like it's a teacher. Would you like to buy a teacher, something that just says teacher, or it says teacher Miss Williams? Again, it comes down to that. So moving forward, see what designs are selling for you and see if you can add personalization to them. Or as you're thinking about designing, can you add a personalization to them? And I know personalization can be daunting, it can be a lot of work, but again, you can use a system like Hello Custom that helps you kind of just automate the whole process, and it will make it so much easier. But again, do not stop offering this because there's so much money to be made. And I'm going to tell you that the moment that I added this to my Etsy print on demand business, my shop literally skyrocketed. So I would be doing you a disservice if I don't talk about it. The fifth thing is incorporating a loss leader. What is a loss leader? A loss leader is like an item that you're willing to either lose a little bit of profit on or break even on. So when you're on Etsy and you search for something like, let's say t-shirt, shirt, Etsy is going to show the cheapest price of that item. And again, when you're competing with so many people, especially when you're new and you're looking at the designs, you know, side by side, and they're pretty competitive, but you're looking at one that's maybe a little bit cheaper, you're going to click on that one a lot more. And again, you're trying to get more clicks that eventually those clicks turn into sales. So if you're new, I would do it. I mean, obviously, you can just pick one item, like let's say like your white small shirt, you make it that price. You don't have to make all of your items that price. I also wouldn't like do it with items that are not inside of that listing. I know a lot of people do it, but to me, it will make the customer kind of upset if you're saying like, oh, here's the bodysuit and you don't even offer the bodysuit, or oh, here's the tote bag and you don't even offer that, or oh, it's extra small and it's always sold out. Like, I will make sure that that item that you're saying is your loss leader, that you do offer that and that you do show them on the listing photos that the item is available. But I have found that to be helpful, especially when you are competing. And then what you can do is that you can make your shipping a little bit more expensive to kind of help with that cost that you're losing on the front end. And again, adding to that, just turn the whole 35 free shipping off. The moment that I did that, I literally saw a difference in my sales. People pay for shipping. I know Etsy has this whole thing of like, oh, if you have this on, we will show your things more. Etsy wants to make money. If Etsy makes money, you know, they're going to show your items. If your items sell, Etsy's going to show your items because Etsy gets to make money too. So this whole loss leader is just to help you get traction, get more clicks. And again, your design do have to be good. You cannot have a design that's terrible and then have this, because again, people are shopping on Etsy with their eyes and looking at the thumbnail. So your design do have to be good. If you have a design that's doing well and you combine it with this loss leader, you're going to get more clicks that are going to turn into sales. The sixth thing is running ads. Again, I know not a lot of people are for ads, but I love ads because I love to collect data. Again, if you can look at ads as a way to collect data and not be emotionally attached to them, then you can do them. Because ads is one of those things that you cannot turn them on now and then turn them off just because you feel like they're not making you any sales. Again, you have to leave them on for a minimum of 30 days. Etsy needs that much time to figure it out if it's working or who to show the ad to. You can't just come in and say, oh, it's been 2-3 days and I lost $5. Like, you gotta let them be. I mean, you can go into the ads and turn off specific keywords that are not relevant to what you're selling. So like if you're selling a t-shirt and Etsy's showing it to like a PNG, of course you can turn it off because you're not selling a PNG, but don't turn the ad off. Remove your emotions from it. Treat this as you're trying to collect data. Treat this as like a marketing expense. Every business runs marketing. Keep this as being part of your business, like it's a tool that you use. And again, you only pay when people click. People can look at your ad all day and you're not gonna pay. You only pay when people click. But this is an amazing way to figure out what's working and to figure out what's not working too, so you can pivot, so you can make changes. Because again, I love doing ads because it's the perfect way to get data for me to see, oh, okay, people really click on this, bought this listing. Oh, I should now add this listing, let's say, into a shirt. Or now I should change the design and add it into this niche or whatever, something like that. But it will help you make decisions like that. Or people are clicking on it, but they're not buying. Okay, well, maybe the design is not good enough. The thumbnail, like, what is it about it? But again, you will be able to know that data so much faster, and you'll be able to make decisions that's going to move your business further. The seventh thing is always thinking ahead 8 to 12 weeks. You always got to be ahead of the game. You always got to be thinking about, okay, what holiday is coming? What awareness is coming? Especially if you're in a certain niche that already does well for you, always think about that niche. Like, for example, you're in the t-shirt niche and you already sell. What's always coming up for that niche? Is it Easter? Is it 4th of July? Is it, Teacher Appreciation Week? Like, always think about that. And then you should be adding designs, I would say, like 3 months in advance. I like to be that early because that way you start to get favorites, you start to get added to carts, you might get some sales, get some reviews, and then when the masses are shopping, your listings have some traction. So this is the perfect way to get extra sales, is to add like holiday or awareness things that revolve around the niches that you're in. Again, I will not just go and add a random holiday design that say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, because that does not work. I will combine holidays with niches. Again, if you have a niche that already works for you, can you add holiday designs or awareness designs to that niche? If you're thinking about going into a specific niche, add a holiday to it, but do not go in with generic designs and then sitting back and wondering why you have no sales, because that does not work. You have to target the holiday with a specific customer in mind. And again, if you're still here, as promised, I did start an Etsy shop last summer because, again, I'm in so many Facebook groups and I keep seeing people saying, oh, Etsy is too saturated, there's no money to be made, and the people that are on YouTube, they're talking about their shops that are already making 6 figures, they're not starting from scratch, and all these things that you're telling yourself. And I did this as an experiment because I wanted to prove that you can still make money on Etsy and that all the things that I'm teaching you guys work. So I literally, all the things that I'm telling you is what I implemented in the new shop. I opened it last summer and I got my first sale like within a month. Compared to like my main shop, it took me like 3 months to get my first sale. So again, that shop is actually a very niche specific shop. I have like 20 listings or less. So again, this whole like, well, how many listings do you need to make sales? My main shop had over 100 listings and I had no sales. This shop had like 20 listings or less than 20 listings and I made my first sale. And then like I said, it took only a month versus my main shop, it took 3 months. And again, it was summer. I didn't have much to do. It was kind of like a slow time with my main shop. So that's when I opened it. And then I kind of just let it be because then I wanted to get ready for Q4. So I have not done anything with that shop. I only go and like answer messages here and there if people message me, but I have not added new designs. Like I do nothing with it. And I will say like this month, as I'm recording this, is March. This month has been like my best month. Like I've been getting like 3 to 4 or 5 sales in a day. At a minimum, I get like 1 to 2 sales a week, which I'm like, you're probably thinking like, well, 1 or 2 sales is not a lot. But guys, for a shop that I do nothing with it, that I don't add anything to it, I barely just message people that message me, this is pretty well. So it took about 6 to 9 months for the shop to be able to get like between 1 to 5 sales in a week. So again, this is just to show you that it does take time, that you that this doesn't happen overnight. And then again, if I was more consistent in the shop, if I actually maybe listed more often, if I was present more, this shop will be like even to a whole higher level than my main shop was. And again, it's because of all the skills that I'm teaching you guys. Everything that I pour into my YouTube video is literally what I did for that shop. And it was just to prove the point that this business works. If you're willing to put in the time, if you put in the effort, if you're willing to put in the work, that all the things that I'm teaching you do work, because that's exactly what I did. Everything that I'm sharing with you guys in all these videos is exactly what I put into practice in that shop. It happened much faster, like to get that first sale, because I knew what I was doing at that point. And again, if I had all the time, I could be growing that shop and it probably would take off even faster than this shop did. And it's because of what I know now that I didn't know then. So I wanted to share that with you guys, because for the people that feel like, oh, well, you're just on YouTube sharing about you made this and you made that, but you haven't started from scratch. And you can't start from scratch. I started that shop from scratch, like nothing. Last year, I started in the middle of summer where it's like sales are supposed to be down. And it's to the point now that shop, literally, I get 3 to 5 sales in like a week, which is like, that's not a lot, but for a shop that I do nothing with it, to me, that's amazing. So again, if you're wanting to know what's possible with this business, then I'm going to be linking this video next, because in that video, I kind of showed you how I did $1,000 in one day. See you in the next one.